Hi, I'm Josh Vogel, filming the Sloth Report video log, issue number 8. Today I want to talk about another white belt tip, and again, this is a tip for anybody, but I think it applies most easily to white belts. The tip is you want to have 3 different types of training partners. You want to have people that you are more experienced than, people that you have the same experience level as that are around your same level, and then people that are more experienced than you. I think this is the best way to get better. When you train with people that you're more experienced than, this gives you a chance to do a few different things. One, it gives you a chance to work on new techniques that you're practicing. So if I roll with somebody who is a good purple belt, good blue belt, good white belt, and I'm a black belt, my first goal is to try out the new techniques that I'm working on, stuff that I'm not good at yet, and get a feel for how they react, what they do, how they shut it down. Sometimes I'll go for a submission and then ease up on it so they can escape, to see how they escape, and then what I would do after the escape. I use them to study my new moves. And then I also, once I get comfortable with those moves, I try them against people that are the same level as me, that give me good competitive rolls. So the new moves are like my B game or my C game, and then once I work them to the point where I feel confident and comfortable with them, I'll bring them up to the next level, which might be a B game or an A game, and try them on people that I have good competitive rolls with and see what happens. And again, the process is try the move, study the move, what went wrong, what went right, what can I do better. I try to get feedback from my partners if I'm working on something new. I tried to do this new triangle setup, but you shut it down by putting your knee in front of your elbow and using your knee to pull your elbow out. What do you think I can do to stop that? Or I tried to counter that by doing this. Did you feel like that was effective, not effective? If I lock the choke on in a different way than I usually do, did you feel like it was choking or was it more cranking on the neck? I think it's helpful to keep an open dialogue with your training partners, whether you're more experienced than them, same level as them, or they're more experienced than you. So level 1, have people that you're more experienced than that you try new stuff on. The second way that I use people, I guess it sounds like kind of a dickhead way to put it. I don't mean use people, but well, I do mean use people. I'm using them to get good training, and then hopefully they're using me to get good training. But the second way I use people that I'm more experienced than to get good training is I put myself in their best position and I try to fight out of that. Or I'll find some way to handicap myself, whether it's rolling with one arm or only attacking techniques on my right side when I'm much better on my left side, only guard passing to the right versus guard passing to the left. So the other way that I'll train with people that I'm more experienced than is I find some way to make them the same level as me. This is a particularly useful strategy if you don't get a chance to train with a lot of high level people that give you good competitive roles. Like, let's say you're the teacher of your school and you just started your school and you're a brown belt or a black belt and you only have new people to train with. A good way to train is to find a way to make white belts feel like black belts. So you put your arm in a weird spot and they start to get you in a triangle and you have to fight your way out of a deep triangle choke. They get on top of you in side control and your arm is exposed to an arm bar, so you have to fight out of side control and make sure they don't arm bar you. Find ways to make them, instead of them being white belts, make them into the same level of challenge as a black belt. If there are people that, if you feel like there's nobody less experienced than you, the only solution for that is to wait. and then there will be people that are less experienced than you. If you're a white belt and you feel like there's nobody that you can really do this with because there's nobody less experienced than you, or maybe you're struggling and you haven't found your stride yet, and there's really nobody that you can kind of try stuff out with, my recommendation is to find a way to do the same thing, but like do positional sparring, where you ask the person only to go 30% or 40%. Find some way to make your training partner into somebody that you're more experienced than, so that you can get good training. And then, of course, reciprocate and do the same for them. So if you know you can pass your training partner's guard, but they really, really want to work on their guard retention, you could do positional sparring with them where you only go 50% and they go 100%, and you kind of cooperate with them a little bit to let them get a feel for resistance, but also give them a chance to try out their stuff. So level 1, people that you're more experienced than, try out your new stuff, work on your new moves, let them move around as well, let them do stuff to be cooperative and give them more experience, and also work in their strongest areas and try to bring them up to a challenging level for yourself. So put yourself at a disadvantage, give them an advantage. People that are competitive with you, the same level as you, you're a blue belt, they're a blue belt, you've been training the same amount of time, you both tap each other, you both sweep each other, you're both pretty evenly matched. These are the people that you're testing out your A game on, and you're trying to refine and study how they stop you, make your game sharper. Almost like those old Spy versus Spy comics from Mad Magazine, the two guys with the pointy hats and the long noses. One guy shows up and he's got a gun, and the other shows up and he's got a bazooka, and then the other one comes back and they have a tank, and then the other one comes back with a nuclear warhead. It's almost like an arms race. So you have these people that you're the same level as, and you kind of conspire against each other you game plan against each other and try and get some small advantage that allows you to pass their guard more easily next time. And then they have to figure out a solution to that and up their game just a little bit so that you can't pass their guard. And then maybe they set a trap for you, so when you try to pass the guard, they triangle you. So these are the people that push you to the next level and make you reach. They're challenging for you. And then the third type of training partner are the people that are more experienced than you. The people that just smash you no matter what you do. Or they're good enough where they can do mostly what they want to. These people are good for a lot of different stuff. One, they show you what the next level looks like. If you're a blue belt and they're a purple belt and they're pretty easily controlling you, they're still within your grasp. You can reach and feel what the next level of skill is like, and this is perfect. If you're a white belt and you're training with a black belt, sometimes the gap in skill can be pretty vast. So it can be hard to really understand what's going on and to feel what that next level is like. But it's much easier if it's white belt rolling with a blue belt rolling with a purple belt, brown belt, black belt. That's how I feel with my instructors. They're both way ahead of me as far as skill level goes. So a lot of the time I don't really feel like I don't feel like I'm close to their level. But there are people that are more experienced than me, that are more skillful than me, that are closer to my skill level, and I can feel, okay, that's what they're doing, that's what the next level feels like, this I can reach for. So I get this feeling like when I compete, sometimes when I get beaten by other black belts, a lot of the time I feel like they're not, like, some of them are better than me, of course, but I feel like I can reach that. So that motivates me and shows me what the next level feels like. So that's one way to use the people that are more experienced than you, that are smashing on you. is to use them to feel, okay, I want to feel like that. I want to move like that. It doesn't even have to be a technical thing, but they give you an idea of what the next level is like. The other thing that they do is they force you to work on your defense. So when I train with my teachers, Phil and Rick, my goal, in my head, I have it set that I'm going to beat them, or I'm going to pass the guard, I'm going to submit them. This doesn't happen. I'm lying to myself, but I have to go into the training session like that so that I can give my best. Now, what happens is I get submitted, and I get to work on my defense, so I feel successful if I only get submitted 3 times, whereas last week I got caught 5 times. My goal is to get submitted 3 times and then 2 times, depending on what they're working on. It's just a general thing, but like, work on my defense. These are the best guys that I'm training with. If they have a hard time getting me in a Kimura or an armbar, then I know that everybody lower level than them should have a much harder time. So I use them to, they're better than I am, so they make my defense sharp, and hopefully I can gradually get submitted less and less by those guys. So people you're more experienced than, people that you're competitive with, and people that are more experienced than you. Ideally, you have all 3 of these type of training partners. In an ideal world, you have ready access to them so that you can train with them regularly. I don't think it's a good idea to only train with people that are more experienced than you, because this does a couple things. I think you need to experience success regularly. And so if you're rolling with people that are more experienced than you, chances are you're not really, unless they're letting you do stuff, you're not successful against them most of the time. So if I only rolled with my teachers and they were giving me their A game and going hard with me, I would never get an accurate sense of how I can do against my peers. I would get better for sure. My defense would get better. Eventually my timing would get sharper, all these things. But, I would get more frustrated because I can't get anything going. It would take me longer to get a feeling of success and confidence in my techniques. So what my recommendation is train with all 3 types of those opponents. Don't focus only on one type, unless there are special conditions like you're injured or something like that. Try it out. Let me know what you think.